1 10-hour flight later.
God.
Yeah, 10 hours, Lan.
Man, imagine you're about to take a 10-hour flight, so you bring your copy of Mega Man Battle Network 2, and then you just have to play going on a long flight in the game.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Alright, so real quick, this isn't entirely necessary, but I'm just gonna put this in for one of my attack 10s, just for the heck of it. Anyway, now that that's out of the way. So we're in Netopia. They're very excited here. However, they've also got the Xenogears thing. They're talking in symbols. What was said? I don't know either, dude. You can't get to Netopia Town from here. Why do you keep doing this, Lan? You fool. You utter imbecile.
Wouldn't it be great if one of these guys gave you a cheat code?
Yeah, one of them just speaks in Konami code. Oh, thank you. Alright, so let's double back, because now that we've got the translator on, we can talk to these people. Mega Man waited until we actually had to talk to somebody and understand them. Otherwise, I'm guessing he just found it amusing to watch Lan flounder. Excuse me. Is that the guy that took her money? Can we get him? Can we get his ass? Anyway, Rabita's here, but it seems like she shouldn't be. So if you want to challenge her, you can. I'm not going to. You... good luck with whatever you're doing here.
Uh-oh.
Hello, very tall man.
I'm looking for the set of Yu Yu Hakusho. We're filming the Dark Tournament arc today.
Hey, what's up? I gotta go get killed by Hiei. Mega Man, this seems like a stranger danger situation. Should we not?
God!
There are several adults around
God!
here. Wait, what? Mega Man. Mega Man, usually you're the smart one.
This is the
You have
most
to be,
fucking...
because you're with Lan.
This is the most ChatGPT what do I do ass scene.
ChatGPT, a strange man is forcing me into a car. What do I do?
I bet ChatGPT would tell you to get in a car with a stranger.
So anyway, here's a castle.
Oh, so this is why you're saying it was Europe coded as well?
Yeah, there's a lot. Netopia's a lot. But, hey, we're here. And we're not dead, so, looks like you can trust strangers after all. Alright, well, let's just get out the door and be on our way. Why does this lock like this? Wait a minute, I was wrong. Right, so Lan's getting robbed a second time.
He's gonna take them to the import market. Mega Man, don't goad him into fighting an adult!
He doesn't have a buster, Mega Man. He can't do it as easily as you can. Alright, so the game keeps emphasizing that it's from our pack, not the ones we're actively using, so, make sure you got all the chips you want to use on you, in case you get into a fight. Because now we don't have extras. Right, so this day pretty well sucks. We got robbed of our Zenny 10 hours ago. And apparently this guy's just kidnapping everybody and getting their chips. Ah yes, Net Castle. And here's the American part. Somebody who really doesn't know geography.
It's Asian geography. I bet that the Europeans don't know that either.
I am under the assumption that a vast majority of the world knows geography better than Americans do. Maybe that's from personal experience, but still.
I'm just saying, if I walk up to the average Frenchman with a blank map of Africa, they probably wouldn't get that shit right either. Land, oh my god!
No, the other one was more racially ambiguous. It's clearly a different sprite.
Oh my god, do you think they had to lighten that guy's sprite to avoid unfortunate implications?
You know, I have to wonder. Yeah, they might have had to do that, yeah. Would not surprise me. It's also why the first guy's French. Like, it's fine. The two robberies we've experienced they're not racist, unlike Land. Thankfully, we apparently paid for the hotel in advance, because we don't have money. It's dangerous traveling alone as a kid. You don't say. Okay, fine, I was dumb, but you were too.
He's not safe in his pet. If you die, he dies.
I'm out of here. Storm off for me. I can't do it. Good riddance, MegaDummy. Alright, so Land's a little mad. That guy's got places to be. Oh, hey, we happen to know somebody who says huh a lot. Are all Electopians like this? No, Land would say. Unlike every other culture, Electopians are diverse and have their own distinct personalities. So yeah, there is the special trader up there that requires 10 chips, but the value of them are typically higher, but, you know, we don't have spares right now. Oh hey, how's it going? We haven't seen you all game. So yes, this is Higsby from the first game. He started as a villain working for the World 3, helping to brainwash children, but then we stopped him, so he opened up a shop. He's nice now. This is also why he hasn't been in the game so far. Though you can find Numberman on the net, and he does act as a shop if you can see him.
So, how do you process his, like, vocal tick?
So in my head, I just keep hearing, huh, but usually if I try to actually sound out his voice, it's more like a, huh.
Yeah, the latter is what I was thinking. I almost feel like there should be multiple huhs. It's like, huh.
Though that previous huh was definitely a huh. It had 3 exclamation points and everything. He's huh-ing aggressively. He's a big fan of Lan and Mega Man. How are you even crying like that?
He's so sad he's yodeling.
I got frustrated and robbed twice.
Yeah, I don't think it's that dangerous to put a child alone on a flight, but only if there's like somebody at both airports to help.
There should have been. There was a reporter right behind us.
Like, Lan's dad didn't even take him to the airport out of Electopia.
Yeah, he just skated there. Is it because I called you a MegaDummy? I'm sorry about that.
Oh my god!
So yeah, attempted murder. But a 3rd robbery.
I'm starting to get offended at how this game is portraying America. I'm just saying, I've lived here all my life and I've been robbed 0 times. Man, I hope that doesn't age poorly by the time this episode goes up.
Yeah, if you have a day like Lan Hikari, that can change very quickly and aggressively. Okay, so we have lost essentially everything at this point, but Lan's not backing down. We've got our regular chips. We've got 2 folders in all fairness, thanks to Mr. Famous. And we've got a fridge that we can jack into that also has an item in it. Lan opened with a capital. We've got a chilled HP memory, okay.
No, Lan, you're gonna get charged for that, a massive markup.
Also, I guess HP memories can just be physical things that you can pick up and put into your programs. Now, thankfully, it being in the fridge didn't, like, damage it at all. Like, just imagine if we were at, like, 323 HP instead. God, that would be wild if a Battle Network game at some point or another had you go to, like, non-10s HP. That would just be ludicrous. Anyway, I did put a guard chip in my folder, because you are going to want one, and, you know, you probably have one by now. But in case you definitely don't want to grind, you should probably put one in your folder beforehand. Though, if I remember correctly, part of the reason for coming here is the fact that the entire thing is made of ice. We just have a frozen landscape. But also because I think we just immediately get a guard asterisk chip from this. Now we can use it. So yeah, this is what it looks like when you use Gate Man normally. Just get him with the little guys. That was 40 damage each. It was massive overkill.
I like that you summon Gate Man, who summons the little guys. I wish that the little guys also summon guys.
Just a real E-Matryoshka doll. Napping is a waste of our time in this foreign land. So anyway, right. We're now on a mission to figure out where all of our stuff is. Can't leave the country unless we get our passport back, and it would also be nice to have those chips and Zenny back as well. Never call it that, but okay. Alright, yeah. clues to get our stuff back. What do we do? You should see him in Netopia Park. Okay. Are we gonna accuse him of... Okay, good. He senses an improvement in our mood. We're no longer assuming he's a thief.
You can't say that!
Wait, hold on a sec, there's a gay ninja around here? Where? But yeah, even if they did lighten the skin of that one dude who stole our chips, I've gotta say, this is one of those situations where it's definitely, I don't think they meant anything malicious by it, but boy, this sure is a storyline about how foreigners keep robbing us.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, who lives on a back street, knows about this stuff. Okay, well, we've also got this castle here. We'll meet here later for the thing we're actually here for, but we've got our own business before that starts.
Oh, they're saying they're the first civilization, so we're in Iraq, actually.
I mean, maybe that's here. I don't think there's a specific Iraq in equivalent in the series.
No, obviously this isn't supposed to be Iraq, I'm just saying. I don't know if that's a mistake the character made or the game creators made is the thing.
Yeah, probably just a mistake the game creators made. I just needed a chance to mention that, like, I don't think there's a lot of Middle East in the Battle Network series, which, may be for the best, considering some of the other things we've seen in this game.
I feel like there are some elements of Yumland that were, but I can't remember what they were.
Yeah, most of what we know about Yumland has wound up being, food, and the king got assassinated.
Also, the land doesn't care about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only likes them for their food and their, change.bat program.
Land is one of those people that made a guacamole bowl for the Super Bowl and then complained about Bad Bunny's performance.
Jesus.
He still watched it, though. He's not... Look, he's not so bad that he turned on that other halftime show. He's just...
Mm-hmm. Even Land wouldn't like Kid Rock.
He's not hateful. He's just a dumbass 10-year-old.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, man, yeah, Geostellar is definitely the better character, just in general. Also, yeah, couldn't avoid damage here. Thanks, Gigantic Rock. You're, really, really helping here.
I love Geo because I just always... I misremember Geo as being older than Lan because he's so moody and sad.
Mm-hmm. But he's actually younger, which is very funny.
Lan is 10 and Geo's 8, right?
Something like that, yeah. I think that's... Or maybe Geo's 10 and Lan's like 12. I think it's something I can look up, so... while I do that, though, just... Yeah... Lan, even if we didn't have this whole thing about him being racist, doesn't have a lot going for him otherwise. He's extremely standard shonen protagonist.
Yeah. And the thing about shonen protagonists is that most of them are not that standard. Most of them have at least one other thing.
At least from anything good, yeah. I think there's probably just like a glut of forgotten television shows that have characters kind of like Lan.
Yeah, probably a lot of manga.
So yeah, Lan's age is listed as 11 early Battle Network and 12 late Battle Network. I don't think there's ever a birthday arc in any of these games, but nonetheless. But yeah, I was immediately fascinated by Geo in Star Force. I'd forgotten that, yeah, no, he's just a real good character who, honestly, way better my second playthrough. I think I missed a lot of that game's storyline being so good from just being a small child and going, oh, this is cool. Alright, so yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm not seeing a specific age for Geo. He's just listed as being a 5th grader, which is, you know, where Lan's at too, so I guess they're not that different.
Huh.
Though eventually Lan's got like a year on him. It does not make him any wiser. Alright, I've got some real awkward codes at this point, but I also need stronger chips too. There we go. This is not exactly a comprehensive folder, but it's gonna have to be good enough. No kids allowed. Even if you grow up, Lan, you're probably not gonna be sophisticated enough for this. So while we're at it, well, first off, here's some back streets. This ain't a tourist attraction. We can't go to the back streets. This guy thinks we're not tough enough.
But,
You a cop?
but what was that about a stone flying out? Who tried to kill Lan with a rock?
Could be anybody. Also, yeah, this is why you needed guard asterisk. Apparently it's rare around these parts, which doesn't seem correct considering I got one from a fridge, but you know what? I'm not gonna question Jim, especially since we need a little help.
I mean, it would be so much more frustrating if it actually were rare around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imagine if you didn't put one in your folder and it was hard to find one. That would just be awful. So yeah, we've got this back alleyway, which definitely seems pretty reminiscent of US kind of downtown. I feel like this is kind of the stereotype of it. But I'd also like to mention that Netopia is a visible location in Battle Network 4, and there's an icon for that in the map that actually shows a Colosseum. So, we also have a bit of Italy, we just can't see it in this game.
So disappointing that they just went for the, like... We created as few countries as possible to take up as much space as we could.
Yeah, there are some other countries. Look at that Recco. But yeah, this one is just Europe and America together. We just pushed these two and got admittedly a unique looking area. I would not normally see an area like this so close to a castle, but it is also very wild.
That's such a strange decision, because, like, Europe is so diverse, obviously, it's made by different countries. But even if we exclude the other countries in North America, the United States is pretty diverse on its own. Just reducing it to a single location is going to come across as weird. Think about how many different Pokemon regions they made out of the US that don't feel anything like each other.
Yeah, like, they shoved the tri-state area into one, and, like, that's a considerable, distinct feeling, but there's also so much more to America than just that, so yeah, you could make a bunch. So anyway, this is Thunderman. Thankfully, despite the fact that he is an electric-type Navi, they're not resistant to being stunned or anything. Also, for some reason I've decided to not attempt to go for the big damage. I don't know why. This is a bit of a tough fight. We've got these clouds taking up some of our space. And if we stay by them for too long, they will attack in all cardinal directions. You're safe in the diagonals, but yeah, they'll do that. Also, I was worried I made a mistake, but nope, roll can't exist in a cloud. It's fine. Yeah, Thunderman, for his part, doesn't do too much. He's just got a tri-attack, which is definitely a difficult one to dodge if the clouds are not in the right spot. Yeah, this is absolutely just a battle of... do you have enough space? There's a good chance you probably won't. Thankfully the clouds aren't, like, super solid. So yeah, roll got through them. The satellite doesn't actually collide with them. So they're a little more forgiving than you might think. I was kind of figuring I'd have a bit more of a difficult time with this one, but in fairness, you probably don't have a lot of your chips right now. So unless you've done grinding, you don't have the most options. Can see why maybe this wouldn't be the toughest thing on the planet. Either way, we're done. Alright, and so that's Raoul. Also, speaking of other countries, Raoul comes from a place, and I don't know if you'll be able to guess what this is based off of, but he comes from a place called Netfrica. The land that they just threw their hands up and said, okay, we can't think of any clever names, just shove the word net in there and call it a day. I want to go to dinner.
See, the thing to me is, he looked a lot like T-Hawk from Street Fighter, so I thought they were going for a Native American character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a specific native-coded character, though I don't remember if they say specifically where he's from. So I can only hope that means that he's also Netopian, but, you know, since America and Europe started shoved together, that just means that tribe relations were fine, nothing complicated, and they can just keep their autonomy, and we don't have to ask any further questions than that.
It's sort of the thing, because these all have, like, internet names, like, have there been, like, a bunch of recent revolutions? Has there been, like, insane political turmoil in the past 10 years that's led to so many confederations?
You know, I feel like this game kind of has a similar problem to Phoenix Wright, in that, like, in the first game we just had Electopia, or if you're playing the Japanese version, it's literally just Japan. Anyway, here's Gator, to sidetrack myself real quick. You just need a space in front of yourself, and this is one of the most broken things in the game.
Damn.
So that might not have looked like that much because we were just attacking a regular enemy, but that's 900 damage in a single attack.
That is the boss removing machine.
Yes, that is 100% correct. That is pretty much your prime strategy, so just put the wind boxes and gate into a folder, and if they come up, you will just destroy everything. Like I said earlier, you're going to want multiple copies of each chip, otherwise you're relying on luck. We'll see how far one copy each gets me, but eventually I will have an entire folder just dedicated to, I would like to remove the bosses now. It is highly useful. And is also probably a program advance that, if you use it in PvP, your friend will probably be legally allowed to punch you.
God, it just reminds me of one of the Budokai Tenkaichi games. Because of the way they were balanced, the super moves that weren't Ki Blast, were just physical attacks, were a little overpowered. And Videl had nothing but those physical rush attacks. So one guide I found recommended like how to deal with Videl's physical rush attacks. Punch your opponent in real life. It is your only hope.
I mean, I'm just glad that Videl's got a good game counterpart. She's got that, and I don't actually know how she is tier-wise in fighters, but, you know, she's capable at least.
Oh, who cares? We don't play competitively for fighters, we just use who we want.
I just meant, I assume most of the games care about power level too much, and therefore she'd be bad because her power level's not good, normally. But, yeah. Also, I was making a point about, sequels and their expansions of the world that didn't really expect to expand the world, but I'll have to table that again, because we've got a net dealer over here, and it's kind of important because he's got Wind and Fan Asterisk. If you want, I think there's up to 5 or 4 chips you can buy of both Wind and Fan. So yeah, if you want to stuff your folder full of stuff, you don't have a lot of money right now, but keep that guy in mind, because that's just another way to obliterate the difficulty. That's how you get Wind and Fan in your folder with multiple copies. But anyway, yeah, just because Fighters is like an actual fighting game, and not like one of those arena fighters where they think about power levels for real. Yeah, she's balanced to be an actual playable character, and not just, well, I mean, Videl doesn't get to do stuff in the show, so she doesn't get to be a cool playable character either.
So was that Higsby's number man, or is that just
Yes.
a different number man? Okay.
Yeah, there is but one number man, and that is he.
Well, he just introduced himself as a traveling number man and didn't go like, Mega Man, my friend!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unlike Higsby, he's just all business.
No discounts.
Also in the net background, you can see that, alright. Well, I'm talking about this now, what are... I feel like this guy is just messing with me. I knew it. It's just like the Rock Bottom episode. They don't actually make the raspberry noises. Just mocking him. Anyway, like I was saying, you can see in the background that they didn't change the, insignia to say Netopia instead, so it's still a Meropa. Cute girl like me wouldn't go to the dark web. Netopia 3? Netopia 2 is so good, why isn't there a Netopia 3?
Alright, I'm just thinking about the geopolitical situation of Mega Man Battle Network. So, is there a Net Australia?
I don't remember there being an Australia. I feel like there has to be an Australia somewhere. I just can't remember what it is.
But would they bother combining them with the surrounding countries, or would they forget that those even exist?
Yeah, That is a good question. I don't remember seeing an Australia. But I feel like there has to be one.
You mentioned Africa, and I'm sure there's a bunch of racist shit in that, but while we're talking about racist shit, what about Net Latin America?
Net Latin America. Well... I know the sound I made makes it sound, super racist, but like, so... It's mostly just the fact that I think they gave, that particular area a really dumb name. We don't ever see anything, South America in, Battle Network, but there is a location in Star Force that's supposed to be South America. If I remember correctly, in Japanese, it's either Nazca or a name similar to Nazca. But for some reason, they just call it, like, Wazap. Like, what's up, but dumb. And I don't know what possessed them to do that.
Where are the Nazca lines? Are the Nazca lines in Peru? Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes, I believe that's correct. But it is a shame because, like, Nazca's a cool name on its own, though. I get at that point they were kind of obligated to change every name, because they changed every name before, but, like, Nazca's just a good name.
Just call it Net in America. So it's called Nazca, and you keep specifically saying South America, so I guess there's no Central America representation.
I don't think so, unless a little bit happens to wind up in Nazca, or sorry, Wazap. But I don't remember enough of Star Force 2 off the top of my head to remember that for certain. I don't know if they got any Central American bleed in there. Probably not, and I feel like they probably managed to get a little bit of focus there, but yeah.
I figured if there is any Central American stuff, it's probably by accident. I'll admit, I was mainly just trying to make sure that you knew the difference between Latin America and South America. One encompasses the other, but they're not the same. Also, if one more person tries to tell me that Mexico's in South America, I'm going to hurt them.
It's south of us, but it's Central America.
Not even! Mexico's in North America. Central America starts in...
Well, yeah.
Fuck, is it Guatemala or Honduras? That's south of Mexico. Hold on, I need to look up a map. Also, Central America is in North America. It's like the Indian subcontinent. We acknowledge that it has a distinct cultural identity, but it's part of the North American continent. Okay, Guatemala and Belize are the countries that border Mexico on the south. So even if you dislike this video and don't watch another episode in our LP series, hopefully you've learned something about geography.
Yeah, because that's what everybody's here in Battle Network for. The really messed up geography of Mega Man Battle Network. Mega Man Battle Network doesn't understand geography.
I'm just thinking about how Coppola would put a recipe in the first half of all of his movies, so if anybody got mad and walked out halfway through, at least they have a pretty good recipe they could cook.
But yeah, there's a few more countries that I haven't mentioned. We'll be seeing mention of one soon enough. There's also one that wasn't mentioned in the English translation, but I think it's just like Nation R. Something like that. It's just like alluded to as like, hey, this place was attacked by World 3 in the first game. But that was removed.
So is that Russia, or do we know?
I don't think so. Like, it's described as like a military nation or something like that, but we're not given like anything.
Okay, how is that not Russia?
Specifically. There is actually a Russia that we don't see in this game. I don't think that actually comes up until 4 at all. But yeah, in this universe, that would be Sharo, S-H-A-R-O. Alright, well, we're not going to the Undernet. We're not going to the dark web today. Oh, okay. Well, we don't want chicken now. But yeah, Also as a note, the Undernet did exist in the first game. It was just indistinguishable from the rest of the internet, because it all looked the same. It's just once you got to the spot where the viruses would murder you if you weren't prepared, that was the Undernet.
Yeah, I remember asking if the Undernet or the Dark Web was a dumber name for that part of the internet.
Alright, well, as it turns out, all these foreign people are pretty friendly when you get to know them. So we got robbed 3 times, but we're fine overall. Now everyone can see this and weep. Rumor has it that a millionaire madam bought some rare chips. She's rich, so you can imagine where she is. Alright, well, as it turns out, it's pretty easy to find her because we've got a jewelry store right here. Now, let's get done with this place so I don't have to pronounce the word jewelry anymore. God. If we go to a 6th jewelry store, I'm just gonna have to leave in disgust.
In my mind's eye, you're frantically Googling synonyms for jewelry.
Yeah, the jewel store where you buy jewels. And other fancy stuff. Alright, well, they've got a VIP room, that's cool. That just makes it easier to find the person we're looking for. We're not particularly important people, but, maybe they'll just let us walk in. Real ones cost too much, you don't say.
Looks like a shit diamond, too. What?
Alright, well, anyway, they actually will just let you walk in.
Okay, I already like this lady's design.
That is one heck of a hat she's wearing. You can't afford that hat.
Because of the perspective, I can't tell if it's cylindrical or a tricorn.
And, well, you can't tell from the picture either.
It looks more cylindrical in the picture.
But it could be a tricorn on top.
Well, no, that part that looks like one of the horns, you can see in the portrait, that white part at the top. And it's flush with the rest of the hat. I'm not reading the text because I'm talking about the sprite design.
Alright, well, all we need to do to get her chips back is to just challenge her to a fight. So she's got Snake Man, who, right out the gate, he has actually some protection against regular Gate Man. Because no matter what, we can't get rid of those holes in the floor, so... the other annoying thing about this fight is, he really likes to hide. If you get in front of him, he just gets in his jar. So, the best way to get to him is indirectly. Though you do get a split second to hit him, if you're fast enough, so we can do something like that. Shockwave, however, I just equipped so I could get rid of it. It's not gonna help me. Also, thing to note about Snake Man is, he is wood element, which means we're weak to him, which sucks a lot, especially because that Vulcan attack is still wood element. Basically, he'll just chase you around for a few seconds, but if that hits, it hurts. Ugh, and this is a terrible selection, ugh. So yeah, Gator would actually help, of course, since that doesn't travel along the ground. That just fires straight forward. Again, the only thing you need to activate Gator is a space in front of you, and then you can do something like this. Of course, we will need to attack very quickly, otherwise this will, just completely whiff, but also he's stunned, so what am I talking about? Perish. He lost his 210 HP almost immediately. Okay, well, you're weird. Alright, so get your spare chips back, and you also get the code to her network, which... Please stop talking like that in front of this child. You can actually access the internet from her handbag. And also, fun thing about her little domain, it's one of the closest spots to the undernet that you're going to find.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's on purpose. I'm pretty sure it's intentional that the rich lady is very close to the dark web. Also, great background. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but... get him? Good enough. That at least removes the candle from the equation. That enemy, of course, heals as long as its candle is, in existence. That enemy was also in the first game, and it was also kind of a pain to deal with there, too. But as long as you can destroy the candle, you're good. And there we go. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here for the data? Wood plus 40, so if you've got a wood deck, that is incredible. I want to say Thunderman's the only electric Navi we've fought so far, so it's not had the most use potential, and also I don't have a lot of wood chips in the first place, so I can't really make that deck, but if that is something you've been prepping, well, there's a chip that you'll definitely want. And we can't get through here, so that's where our exploration ends. Right, so, we've gotten pretty much everything back that we can get back. We've got our passport, we've got our chips, and we've made a little bit of money from our time fighting at least, so... This started as a pretty terrible day, but we turned it around. Next time on Mega Man Battle Network 2, we're going to go to this conference that we traveled the world for.
Right, that's what we're actually here to do. I forgot. I got distracted by all the robberies.